Hey guys, it's Taylor Ann from Little Creative Life, and today I just wanted to play in a junk journal. I share junk journals that I make all the time on this channel that I put up for sale in Etsy, but I wanted to show you what I actually do with the junk journals. So this is one that my pen pal and I are sending back and forth to each other. It was one of the very first ones I made, so I staple bound it, which I don't do anymore because it's not as sturdy. Now I sew them, but this first one I stapled it, and it's been sent in the post, like back and forth between us. It's filled with lots of memories, so this book is kind of falling apart. It's very full of love, that's for sure. So everything I do pretty much reinforces the spine. I add lots of washi tape and clear tape. I added a rubber band around it, so hopefully nothing falls out, but it's definitely not going to stop me from adding more stuff because, just got to be extra with it. It's a junk journal, so I don't know. Junk journals are just kind of fun because you could put everything in there. Just throw all your junk in there. So I just pull out a bunch of random stuff. This is kind of why I like it, because you can, I don't know, just get rid of all the stuff in your stash that you've been collecting. So I pull some things, I play with them in a few different places. I had to speed up this video. Initially I wanted to do just like kind of a craft with me, but my boyfriend was working up in the attic, so there was lots of construction noise in the background, and I was just so indecisive during this whole thing, so I sped it up a little bit and decided just to have a little chat with you. Hopefully you guys are crafting along with me, maybe in a junk journal of your own. These ones are fun. They just have like a random selection of papers. So like scrapbooking paper, magazines, envelopes, vellum, tracing paper, old vintage book text, book paper, and just lots of fun stuff. So it's always kind of fun to see what you can do with what pages. It's cool because how they all kind of go together. And it's really fun because my pen pal and I kind of have the same style. So, bright colors and skulls, kind of cutesy, creepy stuff. We both totally love it. We both have the same kind of crafty style, so it's perfect. It's so much fun seeing what she can come up with and, seeing what I do and then seeing them next to each other. So that's why I love this like pen pal traveler's notebook. It's been lots of fun so far. I would suggest if you have a pen pal or if you send Happy Mail to maybe give these traveler's notebooks a try. They're a little bit pricey to ship, back and forth to each other. It's more expensive than just sending like a little postcard or envelope, but it's really fun getting the journals back and forth and filling it with some stuff, seeing it filled with her stuff. It's just, I don't know, I'm really enjoying it so far, so I hope that she's having fun with this junk journal too. I'm just adding lots of different stuff. I think this is a tag, but it was kind of cool because it was like see-through, so I just covered up the logo with some washi tape and I'm gonna add it in here. I could maybe add like a picture on the back or some words, I don't know, but for now I'm just gonna like tuck it in somewhere. On the right hand side of the page I added some pictures from Warp Tour and our little ticket stub from Warp Tour also, because I don't know, we add events that we've done or what's going on in our life. I'm going to use the left hand side of the page to journal a lot. I have a lot of journaling to do this time. Not as many pictures, but lots of journaling to do, so I'm just going to tell her what I've been up to and how I'm feeling lately, because that's kind of the heart of your pen pal, like being able to talk to somebody, I don't know, that's across the country. Do you guys have pen pals? Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I just crazy? So I accidentally ripped that corner, so I'm just going to cover it up with a sticker or a die cut or something. I added some stitching to it and some like little word phrases, thingamajiggers, just to make it cute and more like junky. I like having threads and like stitching in my junk journals. I think it makes it really like textured, tactile. I'm not sure the word for it, but I like adding stitching and having threads hanging out of my journals and having tabs and like fun stuff that just makes you want to like flip through it. So like I said, I had lots of journaling to do about what I've been up to. So I used a full page for that, and I don't know. I don't mind. I had more kind of to say than to show. But I did have some fun pictures from Florida, so I wanted to add those in there. And you can see, I don't know, I love the little tassel hanging out on the top. It is so cute. I love the little threads. When you close the book, you can see them. And then the bright pink ticket, it looks so cute. So I was really excited to use this page because I liked the little tassel on the top. And I added my pictures from Florida of me and my boyfriend, and I just did some kind of journaling around it. I used some little Daphne's Diary Polaroids as backgrounds for my photos that I just printed off using my HP Sprocket. It's like a Bluetooth printer that connects to your phone so you can print pictures straight off of your phone. They're really cute. It's a portable little printer, and I share it a lot on my channel. I have a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. That's what I use a lot of the time for pictures that I put into my journals. She included this like purple pen when she sent the notebook to me this last time. Oh my goodness. And she sent so much stuff. Like, she just went to Disneyland or Disney World. So a lot of her pages that she did this last time were about that. And she included so much like Disney ephemera that she collected from her trip for me. How sweet is that? Like, I don't know, blessed to have such an awesome pen pal. I have been thinking about maybe opening like a P.O. box or something, just because I do have a lot of people ask me about Happy Mail or pen pal letters. It's just, it takes me so long to respond to pen pals that I wouldn't want it to get out of control. And I couldn't promise prompt replies or any reply, but I have been thinking about opening a P.O. box. If you guys want to share some letters with me, I would love it to get some happy mail. But like I said, I'm still considering it because it takes me forever to respond to happy mail. But let me know if you have any kind of thoughts about it, if you have a P.O. box, how you manage it and all that. It's just another responsibility, and we have so much going on at the house right now. It is crazy. We have been working nonstop. It's been awesome. It's cool to see the house that I grew up in being renovated. And that's kind of, like I said, the construction noise, that's what's going on. So it's really exciting. The house is a mess right now, and I just kind of found a little bit of time at the end of the night to do some junk journaling and get a little bit creative because we've been working hard all day. Junk journaling is really fun because I will just pull out random stuff and then use it till it's gone or use it until I'm done. So I don't normally use like wood pieces or wood veneers, I think they're called, or wood embellishments, but I had them out on my desk, so I used them, and I used lots of post-it notes and labels and stuff that I wouldn't normally use in my like planner or my other journals. they just all seem to fit. Like anything fits in a junk journal. You can throw it in there. So that's why I really like it. And it's even more special because I get to see the stuff that she puts in there. And it somehow all just works together. I added this little tag. I found it in my drawer, so I just added some stamping on the bottom of it, and I'm just going to write on the back. We're thinking about maybe doing like a crafty vacation, so I'm telling her that I'm totally serious about it and we need to make this happen, because how fun would that be to have like a crafty vacation with one of your like planner besties or your stationery friends. Like, I think that would be so much fun, right? So that's pretty much what I wrote on this tag. And I'm just going to slip it into one of the little pockets that I added into this junk journal. I seriously add pockets to every single page. I just love adding pockets to journals. It's so much fun. And, you know, like tip-ins and washi tape and all the fun stuff. Is there like a technique that you are obsessed with in your journals right now that you can recognize, like stamping on everything, washi tape on everything, pockets on everything? Mine would probably be distressing or watercolor, and of course washi tape. Washi tape forever. Washi tape forever. I think it's funny because I know I'm totally guilty of it, but we get in like patterns or we just like do one thing. I don't know. I guess it totally depends on the supplies that we're working with, and just how we're comfortable doing things. But I recognize that I do a lot of the same thing over and over. And I don't know if it's like style or if it's just comfort. But I always think that's fun about crafting, is seeing how either your style or your comfort level evolves through the years. And it's kind of cool because both of our styles are really similar, so it's easy to do a book like this. So I had lots of fun, and I just kind of turned on my phone and recorded. So sometimes I'm out of frame. My desk is way messy. This is kind of the creative mess that, you know, just keeps encroaching. You start with a clean desk and then the pile just starts building and you just push it off to the sides and it keeps building into the middle. I know, it's like a creative avalanche or creative, I don't know, cluster of stuff that just makes its way to the center of your craft table where you're trying to work. You're like, how did this mess get here? But you know it's completely your fault. And I just added a post-it note to this page and said that they are way too cute and they just have to stop being so cute because I can't handle it. But it was a really sweet photo of her and her boyfriend or her fiance. Oh my goodness, I'm the worst. But I just have so much fun flipping through this book, adding stuff. I added this little pocket and I included some stuff for her, like stickers and post-it notes and a die cut and stuff. And then I also included a little playing card with pictures on it. So that's kind of fun. And I plan on doing more in this book. I just had a little bit of creative block. So I decided to work in one of my other junk journals. This is the large junk journal. I've shared it on my channel before. I think I have videos on it. It might be in a junk journal playlist or it should be linked at the end of this video. if you want to see more about this journal, but this is my personal journal, and I add stuff that's special and important to me. So here I'm just adding a stamp collage page, and I do a lot of happy mail, and I send a lot of letters to my grandma and to pen pals and stuff. So I like saving stamps, and I made a collage of some of them. I've done this in other books before, and it's just so cool to see all of the stamps together and on one page. So I really like that. It's really fun. And I don't know, I'm just going to keep working in this journal. I collected some paint chips. I know we're all probably guilty of collecting paint chips, so I decided to actually use one in my journal. I just layered it with some of this yellow graph paper that, of course, I added distressing to, because like I said, distressing on everything, especially in junk journals, because a lot of your supplies come from random sources and just random stuff that you've collected. So to tie all of the randomness together, it kind of helps to add distressing to everything. It makes it all kind of go together, and it makes it look all old and cool and like vintage and mysterious, and I don't know, I like the distressed look. That's why I add it to my journals. I'll probably add like a photo on this like paint chip or do some journaling, but just for today I'm gonna decorate it. I added a little butterfly die cut that I added some stitching to, and then I just glue it into that corner. This is where I am right now. I have my sewing machine set up in the corner of the room, so I can just pop over there, do a few lines of stitching, and then come back and glue it right into my book. It's so nice having your sewing machine set up all the time. So when you have just like a quick little thing, you don't have to set up an entire sewing machine to do it. That's why I love having my sewing machine set up all the time, and why I add a lot of stitching to my journals. And lots of staples. I forgot how much I loved the tiny attacher. I got it a few years ago, I think, and ran out of staples, never bought refills. Recently, I bought refills and just have fallen in love with it. So I tiny attach everything to everything, and no shame. It's just so cute, and it adds kind of like an industrial look to whatever you're doing. And this book is so kind of like feminine, with all of the pretty papers and like the thread and the ribbons and the pretty pictures. It's kind of cool to have something like a metal staple. I don't know. I probably thinking too much about this, because I just like the way it looks all together. I found this star map from 1988, and it's from August, which is the month of my birth. I wasn't born in 1988 yet, but I still think it's kind of cool to be able to look back on my birthday, like, I don't know, years before I was born, and be able to kind of see. And the star map looks so cool. I'm sure I can add pictures or journaling to this little flip out, but I wanted to tape it in, kind of hinge it in. I had to cut down a page to do that though, or I didn't have to, I wanted to, and I ended up trimming it too short. So I just turned the page and moved on to something else, and decided I will come back to it when I can figure out how to trim the page correctly. But I ran into this save the date from my friend. She was the first one of my 4 close girlfriends from school to get married, and I just put the save the date in here, and added some like heart little embellishments, and it's just so cute. They look so young. I love being able to look back on this, and I was in the wedding, so that's why it's even more special to see their cute little smiling faces on the save the date. And just this whole book is filled with so much important stuff to me. like stuff I've collected, stuff from my parents who passed away, and stuff from my friends. It's just really cool to be able to look back on all of my memories and all the stuff I've collected, because, you know, it's not hoarding if it ends up in a journal, right? So I added this cool, what is it? Like see-through paper. It's this vintage see-through paper. It is so cool, and it's got this beautiful rose on it, hand-drawn, and I just glued it straight down to one of the pieces of paper that had a really busy pattern on it, so it toned down the pattern, but you can still see the pattern through the paper because it's kind of translucent, like sewing paper. I don't know what that kind of paper is called, but that's what it reminds me of, and it's just so cool. I love roses. I have a few rose tattoos, and when I found this rose drawing in a box of one of my mom's old stuff, or with her old photographs or something, I fell in love. I loved it, and I wanted to put it in my journal. So I added some washi tape, and then I think I added like this little cutout of my name. I randomly received this in the mail one time, and I have no clue where it came from, but it has my name on it, and I thought it was cute, so I cut it out and added it to my journal. I always have so much fun whenever I work in my junk journal. I feel like I don't work in it that often. I do all my daily journaling in a Hobonichi, so this journal is really just for kind of memories and for collections. I have a lot of collections in this book, like the stamps. I have actually a few pages of stamps. I have a collection of park passes from the California state parks, which I buy annually. I also have like wine seals. I'm not sure if that's the correct word. I think I show it in this video. What else do I have collections of? I don't know. I'd have to look. But these wood pieces were like in the back of my storage, and I was cleaning stuff out, and they ended up on my desk, and I ended up using them. So that's kind of what's interesting about the supplies that are next to you or that end up on your desk, because then you're more likely to use them. I know it's obvious, but the supplies that are closest to you and easiest to reach are the ones that you're gonna use most often. I have this cool postcard. It just has like medical information on it or something, but it has this cool little skeleton guy or muscle anatomy guy, and I'm eventually going to use him. I like adding these to my journals because I like the little anatomy dude. I think it looks cool. Here's where I'm going to try and re-add the star map. But I don't want to trim the page incorrectly again, so I'm gonna add the wine seals. I'm a part-time bartender, so I have lots of wine corks and like wine seals, so I'll save the ones if I remember and if they look kind of cool. I'm using clear wet glue because that's what I have. Normally I would prefer to use like a tape runner or a glue stick or hot glue, but I have clear tacky glue right now. It is very strong. I just don't like having to wait for it to dry. I'm not a fan of having to sit there or let it dry. I'm impatient. I like to move on to the next thing. So I'm going to kind of let it dry a little bit. I'm going to work on the page right next to it. And this is where I end up putting in the star map. I just folded the page back and I'm going to tape it right on the edge so that it folds all the way out. I think it's so cool to have like flip outs and pieces that fold out. I think it makes it so much more interesting and gives you so much more real estate. Added a little bit of washi tape on the inside just to reinforce that flip out because it's a full sheet of paper that's just taped in right on the edge. And it looks so cool. I'll probably add something on August 5th, my actual birthday. Like I said, I wasn't actually born yet, but it's still August 5th. Any time August 5th is still a good day. Except, I don't know if you guys know this, but Marilyn Monroe died on August 5th. I'm not sure what year it was, but that is something that I share my birthday with. It's just like a random fact that I know. And it's a sad fact because I love Marilyn. These pages are from Daphne's diary, and they are so cool because they fit in the traveler's, or in all of my junk journals pretty much perfectly. They fit in the traveler's notebook size ones perfectly, and then the junk journals, as the edges kind of hang out, but I like that look. I think it's cool to have stuff hanging out over the edges, especially stuff with like fun holes in it or fun designs. And since this was ripped out of a spiral notebook, it has that cool design on the edge. So I just added a little bit of distressing because I knew it would be hanging out, and it kind of ties it all together, and now I have a nice space to do some journaling in. Very fun. I love it. I think I'm gonna do kind of the same thing, add a die cut maybe the same exact die cut that I added to the pen pal journal. That'd be funny. But I do add some washi tape and some stitching. But same placement, same die cut. You can tell I definitely do the same thing over and over. I just try and do it with different colors. So different pages have different colors, and I like to coordinate colors when I do any kind of creative journaling. I think that makes the pages cohesive, and especially adding distressing makes everything kind of blend and go together, and like I said, look really cool and like aged and mysterious. But that's if you like the aged look. So I'll do some journaling on that maybe a little bit later. I didn't really have anything to say about it today, but I do like having the space to journal because I don't have a lot of writing in this book so far. Just lots of pictures and lots of collections and lots of stuff, important stuff that I've been collecting throughout the years. So I think I'm gonna let that dry because I used a lot of wet glue and stuff was falling apart. I needed to let it dry for a second. So I'm gonna go back to my pen pal traveler's notebook and just use up some of the stuff that I pulled out and had on my desk. So some old book text, it fit perfectly right in that little spot, so I glued it right there, and I don't know, I decorated it some more. I'll probably use this page eventually. I don't think I end up doing anything other than stamping on it. I did do some really cool stamping with a skull stamp set. It has this really pretty like flower crown, and I just stamped it in blue and pink. So the bright colors that we use a lot in this journal, I just kind of added them to this stamp and stamped it in a few places. Now it gives kind of a backgroundy stamped image. It's way cool. I might add some pictures to this later. I don't think I get to it in this video though, but I love how the stamping turned out. If you add like a little bit of the ink to one side and then another ink on the other side, you can get kind of like an ombre or a two-tone stamped effect, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I really wanted that stamp ink to dry, so I took a little bit of a break. I got something to drink, Arizona sweet tea, if you were wondering, and went on a little bit of a crafty tangent. because my pen pal sent me these cool letter stickers, but they're like bottle cap letter stickers. So I've been saving all of the bottle caps from my boyfriend's beer and just making these little embellishments or trinkets. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with them yet, but it has been fun and it's given me some like creative ideas. I need to go get my boyfriend some more beer so I can get more bottle caps. But these were really fun, and it was just kind of like a little crafty tangent. That's why my desk is so messy, because I just like jump around from one craft project to another, and the creative pile just keeps adding up. But I go back to my large junk journal, my big one, and decide to add this photo from high school. It is from, I believe, junior prom, and it's me and my high school sweetheart. It's just so cute. The theme was Night in Paris, and it was all like black and white and silver, Parisian, and I just think we look so cute. He looks so cute in his tux. We look so young, and it's just crazy to think about being young and in love. We were together for like 5 years or something. We went from high school to college, and it's just so cute to look back on those memories. And I think junior year I had gained a little bit of weight, but it was right before I gained a lot of weight, so these pictures still are kind of fun to look at. All of my pictures from senior year, I was way overweight and they're not fun to look at, but seeing this one, junior prom, is just so cute. So I wrote high school sweethearts, and I wrote young love. I added some washi tape. It was cool because I had some black washi tape that had like silver stars and like moons, so it was totally perfect for like a starry night, or a night in Paris, I guess is what it was officially. I remember having those red high heels, and I just felt so sexy in them. I had like a black and white dress and just red high heels, and I don't know, I thought that was something special. But in high school, I wasn't super fashionable. I will not lie. So it was fun getting like dressed up for the dances, and I love seeing these old pictures. So cute. Now it's forever in my junk journal, my little memory keeper. This is a picture from senior year, my actual senior photos. I thought I had already added it to my journal, so I'm just going to tuck it behind a paper clip. I'm not going to actually add it. I just thought it would be nice to keep the photo in here because I have so many of these senior photos still. I wanted to add another journaling spot. These papers, brain freeze. These papers are from a Daphne's diary planner, and they fit perfectly in junk journals, so I like to add them a lot because it adds a lot of room for journaling. This is just an envelope, and inside of it is a picture that my grandma drew of me and my cousin. So I added it in there, and I added another playing card from that hotel in Vegas. Those cards are just really special to me. I remember being in that hotel and just falling in love with the casino. I just thought it was so cool. So I'm going to use those cards in a lot of my junk journals from now on because they're kind of cool looking. And this is another collection of stamps. I think this was out of another journal. I just ripped it out and glued it into this journal. I wanted to try and embellish it a little bit, but I couldn't find anything because I didn't really want to cover up the stamps, and I don't know. I think my creativity had gone at this point. I had done a lot of junk journaling, and I just couldn't find it anymore. I was ready to clean my desk. So I call it good, and I say thank you so much for hanging out with me and junk journaling today.